The Austin homeless encampment may force a property owner to leave. So let's check this out. So, a property owner in Austin, Texas is begging the city for help in response to a homeless encampment that he says is negatively affecting his life and business to the point where he may have to pack up and leave. Pedro Morales, who owns a building in the South Lamar neighborhood of Austin, told Fox 7 Austin this week that a homeless encampment popped up in a narrow area by his building, complete with bedding, shelving, kitchen items, and a laptop. Morales explained to the outlet that the encampment started with just one person but then began to grow, and he says he has been vandalized and even found an ankle monitor lying around. Eventually, it's just going to be overwhelming and it's going to cost us business and it's going to cost us money and it's going to cost us time, Morales said. Morales said he has called the city and the police and received a lackluster response, and the police department removed someone from the property on May 5th, Morales says, but the individual soon tried to come back. There's absolutely zero accountability. I have to clean up somebody else's mess. The city created this mess. I didn't create that mess between my buildings, Morales explained. Like, this is not a good situation, right? Like, you're basically, like, when you have, like, homeless encampments in, like, downtown cities, you are going to literally destroy multiple buildings, make things extremely unsafe. Like, oof, not a good thing to do. So, the way this city has been progressively moving toward a direction of tolerance has caused this. I want to be tolerant, but you can't affect my business. I can't allow that. I'll be tolerant to an extent. Once we start really losing business, it doesn't make sense. We won't live in Austin anymore, it's that simple. And Fox News Digital reached out to the city of Austin for comment, but did not immediately receive a response. So let's see some of these comments. If he owns it, he should be able to get it removed, and then I would put up a fence. Unfortunately, he would be the one paying for it. He should contact his local representatives and ask them to pay for their mess. Government created the problem, they should pay for it, not the taxpayers. Perhaps they should use the leftover money from COVID on homelessness instead of illegally transferring the funds into trying to figure out if reparations should be paid to people who were never enslaved. Okay. Homelessness has never been the problem, it is lawlessness. Vigorous enforcement of existing laws on drugs, indecent exposure, panhandling, etc. would quickly reduce resident complaints. It only requires willingness to act by local police, prosecutors, and other government agencies like health departments. High real estate prices are simply not the issue. At this point, Dems rely on the dregs of society and their families and friends, criminals and their families and friends, and unmotivated losers that want the same as everyone else but don't want to work for it. So what follows is the exact issues you mentioned. Don't enforce laws, legalize everything they do that's illegal, and offer handouts to keep them in the position they are in. Down and out in need of damn handouts, it would be considered abuse if the Republicans did all this. Interesting. Don't give anything to panhandlers, don't yard sale or donate tarps and tents. Recall or vote out officials at every level who support compassion without personal responsibility. Let's see. Whenever they post an article about these problems within our cities, they should have to include the voting record of the person complaining. So that South Lamar area is the same area where the Girl Scouts were robbed outside of a grocery store while selling cookies. Don't come to Austin. The local government is trying hard to make it into Portland. Like, this is the problem. Like, I think Texas overall has a pretty low crime rate, or at the very least, a very low like issue with homeless. But in Austin, because Austin is so progressive and is basically like a mini California, they're going to keep on pushing policies that are very left leaning, which will in turn allow a lot more issues that come from homeless people to arise. which is a big issue for everyone that lives there. So, my city, San Antonio, just voted down a proposition that would have turned San Antonio into another Austin free for all. I like Austin, but the encampment tolerance has gotten out of control. Let's see. The great Thomas Sowell opinioned the fact that so many successful politicians are such shameless liars is not only a reflection on them, it is also a reflection on us. When the people want the impossible, only liars can satisfy. One should be reminded as that was a statement whenever one contemplates the irony of today's Democratic Party. Okay, let's see. Blue City, you voted for this. Keep voting Democrat. Don't complain about what you voted for. I really feel for the guy, but the home for the huge U of Texas Flagship University and the capital for state government are in Austin, where the voters have put many left wing politicians into office. I wonder if this business owner has voted, and if so, has it been for candidates who have enabled this chaos? Are there even any conservative candidates for political office in Austin to vote for anymore? Let's see. So I was in downtown Austin about 4 years ago. The walk from the convention center to my hotel was awful. I was hit up at least 9 times by multiple homeless men and women, constantly dodging their camps and huge amount of litter. The smell of feces and urine was everywhere, and it was summer, very hot. A terrible experience. Everyone at the trade show was as appalled as I was and shocked, but no one expected it. I'll never be back. Like that's the thing, right? If you were to go to some place where you had to go and visit like one of these cities, and it's just literally basically a massive pile of garbage, and that was basically the shit, like city, or at least parts of the city, why would you ever want to go back there? Why would people choose to live there? Like that's what I don't understand. Like if you see your city constantly getting worse, why not find a way to leave and go to a better place? Austin was the city of choice for Californians. Relocating to Texas didn't take them long to ruin it. If you live in Texas and want to make a few bucks, whip a few thousand Don't California Are Texas t shirts, sure to be a hot seller. Probably is. Austin is the San Francisco of Texas. Sad. Very, very sad.